Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to 90 Day Fiancé latest news. Pedro Jimeno, one of the most recognizable faces from 90 Day Fiancé, is enduring one of the darkest chapters of his life. Known for his dramatic relationship journey on reality TV and his later determination to reinvent himself as a real estate professional, Pedro has worked tirelessly to rebuild his life. But in a shocking turn of events, tragedy has struck. A massive fire has torn through the luxury real estate office where Pedro built his career, leaving behind devastation estimated at more than $10 million in damages. The blaze erupted late in the night, long after employees had gone home. Within minutes, flames consumed the multi-story building that housed one of the area's most prestigious real estate firms. Thick, black smoke billowed into the sky, visible from miles away. Firefighters rushed to the scene, battling the inferno for hours before finally gaining control. By then, the once sleek office space had been reduced to ashes and twisted steel. For Pedro, this was not just an office. It was the symbol of a fresh start, and now it lies in ruins. Authorities say the investigation is ongoing. Preliminary reports suggest the fire may have originated from an electrical fault, though nothing has been ruled out. Investigators are working to determine whether negligence or other causes may have played a role. Insurance adjusters have also begun their assessments, estimating that the financial blow could exceed 8 figures. The impact of the fire extends far beyond property damage. The firm where Pedro worked was home to dozens of agents and staff, each of whom now face sudden uncertainty. Computers, files, and property records, critical to their day-to-day business, were destroyed in minutes. Deals that were weeks away from closing are now in limbo. Clients who trusted the firm to manage multi-million-dollar transactions are left wondering what will happen next. For Pedro, the emotional toll is particularly heavy. Friends close to him say he is devastated and struggling to process the loss. After his very public divorce from Chantel Everett, Pedro's decision to pursue real estate was a bold step toward independence. It was a way to show both himself and the world that he could rise beyond the drama of reality television. Over the past few years, he had steadily built a reputation as a determined and hardworking agent, earning the trust of clients and colleagues alike. This fire has undone years of effort in a matter of hours. Eyewitnesses described the fire as both terrifying and heartbreaking. One resident who lives nearby recalled waking up to the sound of sirens and looking out to see flames lighting up the night sky. Others spoke about the speed with which the building was engulfed, saying there was no chance of salvaging anything inside. For Pedro, who arrived at the scene after hearing the news, the sight was overwhelming. He stood with colleagues in stunned silence, watching as the firefighters worked tirelessly against impossible odds. On social media, word of the tragedy spread quickly. Fans of 90 Day Fiancé flooded Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook with messages of support. Many expressed heartbreak for Pedro, recalling his journey from the Dominican Republic to the United States and the challenges he has faced along the way. Supporters described him as resilient and encouraged him not to give up. One fan wrote, "Pedro has always bounced back stronger. This is just another test, and I know he will rebuild." But while fans are rallying behind him, industry experts warn that the road ahead will be difficult. Real estate is not just about selling homes. It is about relationships, reputation, and momentum. Losing an office, particularly one so closely tied to luxury branding, could slow Pedro's progress significantly. Clients may hesitate to move forward until stability is restored. Even with insurance coverage, rebuilding could take months, if not years. Colleagues from neighboring firms have already begun reaching out, offering temporary office space and support. The real estate industry, while highly competitive, often shows solidarity in moments of crisis. These offers could provide Pedro and his team with the lifeline they need to stay afloat in the short term. But the long-term challenge remains: rebuilding the trust, confidence, and resources necessary to continue operating at the highest level. This tragedy also highlights how far Pedro has come since first appearing on 90 Day Fiancé. For viewers, his story was once defined by love, heartbreak, and drama. But in recent years, Pedro has worked hard to shift the narrative toward professional success. The fire threatens to unravel much of that progress. For many fans, Watching him lose the foundation of his new career feels like witnessing a cruel twist of fate. As investigators continue their work, more questions emerge. Was the fire truly accidental, or will evidence point to deeper issues? How much of the financial loss will be covered by insurance, and how long will payouts take? And perhaps most importantly, how will Pedro respond to this immense setback? Those who know him personally believe he will fight his way back. They describe him as determined, hardworking, and unwilling to surrender to adversity. If his past is any indication, Pedro may yet rise again, stronger than before. But even the most optimistic supporters admit that this will be the toughest challenge he has ever faced. For now, what remains is a pile of rubble where dreams once thrived. A luxury real estate office that once symbolized success, ambition, and hope has been reduced to ashes. Pedro Jimeno stands at a crossroads once again, just as he did when he first arrived in America and later when his marriage collapsed. This time, the stakes are higher, the loss is greater, and the road ahead even more uncertain. What happens next will depend on Pedro's ability to harness his resilience, lean on his supporters, and rebuild from the ground up. Fans around the world will be watching closely, hoping this tragedy is not the end of Pedro's story, but the beginning of another inspiring comeback. 90 Day Fiancé stars Chantel and Pedro Jimeno arguably have one of the most tumultuous relationships. They even got their own spin-off, The Family Chantel. After one of the most explosive fights to air on reality TV, the couple is still seemingly together, though their marriage appears to remain rocky after his mother-in-law threatened to taser him on Season 4 of Happily Ever After if another fight erupted at a family dinner. On Tuesday, Pedro publicly shaded his mother-in-law, Karen, who he not so affectionately calls Mother Chantel. Pedro, who hails from the Dominican Republic, posted a photo of a snake biting a man on the face. He called it the kiss of the mother-in-law. The following day, he posted a photo of industrial-strength glue and said it was lipstick for mothers-in-law. Pedro wasn't alone in slamming mothers. Chantel also took some digs at Pedro's mom, Lydia, days before Mother's Day. A toast to mothers-in-law that try to micromanage their adult sons/daughters' love lives, but have never had a successful one themselves, her Wednesday Instagram post read. On Sunday's upcoming episode of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 4, Episode 3, the couple will reportedly meet with a lawyer, who reveals that if they got divorced, it would not affect Pedro's green card. Pedro's immigration status is the main cause of tension with Chantel's family. They accused him of harvesting the American dollar and playing them for fools. They claimed Pedro's mother purposely groomed him to marry an American so he could send funds back to the Dominican Republic. Their controversial relationship is one of the reasons they landed their spin-off, which is slated to debut on TLC in July. Our fans can't get enough of Pedro, Chantel, and their larger-than-life families, Howard Lee, president and general manager of TLC, said in a statement about the spin-off. For a brand known as the destination for love, relationships, and family shows, The Family Chantel hits the bullseye. Star Sophie Sierra has seemingly moved on from her rumored split from Rob Warren with another franchise personality, Pedro Jimeno. Eagle-eyed 90 Day fans speculated that Sophie, 26, and Pedro, 33, might be dating after some clues appeared on their Instagram stories over the weekend. In one video on his Instagram stories on March 7th, the real estate agent could be seen wearing light wash-ripped jeans and white and black sneakers. He tagged the location as the Oasis, Lake Travis, Austin, where Sophie lives in Texas. Meanwhile, the UK native took to her own Instagram stories with a video of herself in a car with a mystery man in the driver's seat. However, the man's legs were visible, and he appeared to be wearing the exact same jeans and shoes as Pedro. "I love road trips," she captioned the post. The pairing caused quite a buzz among fans of the 90 Day Fiancé franchise. After Instagram blog 90 Day, the Melanated Way reported on the dating rumor, people flocked to the comments to share their thoughts and concerns. "I pray this isn't true," one user wrote, while another fan added, "Dating within the 90 Day franchise is not healing, girl. Ain't no way all disaster incoming," a third person commented. However, some fans weren't mad about the possible love connection, with one user writing, "They're both a great match." Pedro and Sophie's rumored outing comes after the influencer and Rob, 33, reportedly split sometime after the filming of 90 Day, The Last Resort Season 2, which is currently airing on TLC. In October 2024, 90 Day fiancé blogger Shabudi reported that Rob was dating fellow franchise member Jennifer Tarazona. 1 month later, Sophie hinted that she was single when she posted an Instagram reel about being in her celibate era. Additionally, Sophie recently slammed Rob online in a series of Instagram stories posts after she claimed on The Last Resort that a friend found him on a dating app while they were at the couple's therapy retreat. "Since this man wants to continue to lie to people and make me look bad, fuck it, I have time today," she wrote on February 11th, sharing a screenshot of his dating profile. "Here is the dating profile I found him on while literally at a marriage retreat." In another post, she added a photo of her seemingly bloodied eyebrow and claimed, "Here is the real reason I first left when he pushed me into a table because I was trying to break up with him because I was scared of him. I still have a scar on my eyebrow from the stitches I needed." She further alleged that Rob threw objects at her and tossed her possessions in the trash, leaving her with no belongings and no money. "I had to beg for basic needs." Pedro Jimeno is focusing on a new fitness routine. In People's exclusive sneak peek at the second season of The Family Chantel, Pedro is seen getting back into shape after gaining almost 40 pounds. "My new hobby right now is Muay Thai because I gained almost like 40 pounds in 3 years in the United States," Pedro says. "I love the American food. You know, eat this, eat that. I want to eat the entire piece of cake." In the clip, Pedro spars at the gym with another boxer as he works on his Muay Thai moves. According to the World Thai Boxing Association, Muay Thai, or Thai boxing, is the national sport of Thailand and is a martial art and combat sport. "But thanks to Muay Thai, I dropped like 25 pounds, Pedro says. And Pedro, 28, says his wife Chantel Everett is all about his fit new look. "Chantel loves how I look right now," he says, admitting, "I've been so fat before that I lost my six-pack." While at the gym, Pedro receives a FaceTime call from his sister Nicole and mother Lydia. "I'm here at the gym, taking Muay Thai classes," he tells his family. "I'm all muscle," he says with a laugh, showing off his muscles to the camera. As the clip comes to an end, Lydia asks, "Pedro, tell me, how is Chantel?" Fans first met Pedro and Chantel on the 4th season of 90 Day Fiancé. Cameras then followed them and their families for 2 seasons of TLC's spin-off 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Pedro moved from the Dominican Republic to Atlanta on a K-1 visa after they secretly got engaged following a brief romance. Throughout season 1 of The Family Chantel's family was suspicious of Pedro's intentions because the couple had lied to them about bring-in. Pedro Jimeno, one of the most polarizing figures in the 90 Day Fiancé universe, has spent years under the public microscope. From his whirlwind romance with Chantel Everett to the painful breakdown of their marriage, fans have witnessed his highs and lows in the world of love. Now, Pedro is once again making headlines, this time for a new chapter that has people buzzing: his possible step back into the world of romance. For much of his reality television journey, Pedro's identity was tied to his relationship with Chantel. Their love story captivated fans at first, a Dominican man meeting his American partner, struggling to build a life together despite cultural clashes and intense family drama. But over time, cracks began to show. Constant battles with Chantel's family, communication struggles, and emotional distance led to the eventual collapse of their marriage. The divorce, documented on television and dissected on social media, left Pedro with the image of a man hardened by heartbreak. But time has passed, and with it, whispers of new beginnings have begun to surface. Those close to Pedro say he has been slowly opening his heart again, even after years of guarding it. Friends describe him as cautious yet hopeful, a man who has learned from past mistakes but refuses to let bitterness define his future. Recently, rumors began swirling that Pedro has been spotted spending more time with someone new. While the identity of this person has not been officially confirmed, fans have noticed subtle hints on social media. Pictures from dinners, late-night outings, and quiet vacations that suggest companionship. Though Pedro has remained private, careful not to reveal too much, many believe he may finally be ready to move forward romantically. The possibility of new love is especially significant for Pedro because it represents healing. After all, rebuilding his professional life in real estate has already shown his resilience. Taking the step toward love once more would show that he is not only focused on career success, but also on reclaiming the personal happiness that once slipped away. Supporters online have been quick to cheer him on. Comments on his Instagram posts often read, "You deserve happiness, Pedro," or "We hope you find the love you've been searching for." Fans who once criticized him for the collapse of his marriage now seem more willing to see him as a man learning, growing, and searching for peace. Still, not everyone is convinced. Some remain skeptical, warning that Pedro should focus on himself rather than rush into another serious relationship. After years of public scrutiny, any move he makes in his love life will inevitably be magnified and judged. Pedro himself appears to be aware of this reality, which may explain why he has chosen to remain quiet and protect this potential romance from the spotlight for now. The contrast between Pedro's past relationship and this potential new one is striking. With Chantel, much of their story was defined by conflict, two families clashing in dramatic ways, with Pedro often caught in the middle. This time, observers hope his path in love will be more peaceful, built on mutual understanding rather than constant battles. Pedro's fans are watching closely, not only because they are curious, but also because they want closure to his story. Many have invested years following his ups and downs. Seeing him move forward, finding love again, would bring a sense of resolution, proof that even after heartbreak and loss, new beginnings are possible. What lies ahead remains uncertain. Pedro may choose to reveal more about his personal life in time, perhaps even on future reality TV projects. Or he may decide to keep his love life private, focusing on nurturing it away from cameras and criticism. Either way, the signs point to a man who is no longer defined by divorce, but by his willingness to try again. For Pedro Jimeno, love has always been complicated, filled with joy, pain, and public judgment. Now, as whispers of new romance grow louder, one thing is clear: his journey is far from over. Fans will continue to speculate, analyze, and hope, but ultimately, this chapter belongs to Pedro. It is his chance to rewrite the narrative, to find love on his own terms, and to remind the world that even after heartbreak, the heart can heal and open again. We're wrapping up here for today, but the excitement of trending gossip doesn't stop here. We'll be back with new surprises very soon. So stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe.